everybody, Mrs. Stander here. Welcome to our maths lesson today. Now last week you all looked at units of measure and what particular unit of measure would suit best with capacity or mass or length. Now today we're going to take it a step further and we're going to convert between the two measures, millimeters and centimeters in particular. Now to be successful today you are going to need a pen or a pencil, a piece of paper or a whiteboard, a ruler, and just a little place where you can focus on your maths free from distraction. Now throughout you might see this little icon coming up, and pause the video so that you have enough time to work out each answer. Now I have also sent you a few links where you would find the starter as well as the rest of the quiz and worksheets too. So let's get going.
Okay everybody, time to learn your 12 times table. And here he is, Chirpy Cockerel! His name is Chirpy Cockerel. He's going to help you be a master of your 12 times table. Yeah, you're going to see. His name is Chirpy Cockerel. Flip-flop right to the beach. This is your 12 times table. It's super duper sweet.
Chirpy, chirpy, what you know? 12 times table, here we go. Chirpy, chirpy, what you know? 12 times table, here we go. Chirpy, chirpy, what you know? 12 times table, here we go. Chirpy, chirpy, what you know? 12 times table, here we go.
0 times 12 is 0. 1 times 12 is 12. 2 times 12 is 24. Do the multiple. 3 times 12 is 36. 4 times 12 is 48. Chirpy do abundance. That's super duper mate. 5 times 12 is 60. 6 times 12 is 72. Do the rooster shuffle. Cock-a-doodle-doo. 7 times 12 is 84. 8 times 12 is 96. We're strutting round the farm, picking up our sticks. 9 times 12 is 108. 10 times 12 is 120. What you doing, Chirpy? You're waking everybody. 11 times 12 is 132. Wow. 12 times 12 is 144. And that's all.
Chirpy, chirpy, what you know? 12 times table, here we go. Chirpy, chirpy, what you know? 12 times table, here we go. Chirpy, chirpy, what you know? 12 times table, here we go. Chirpy, chirpy, what you know? 12 times table, here we go.
0, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, 108, 120, 132, and 144. And that's all. 0, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, 108, 120, 132, and 144. So what's 9 times 12? Can you say what it is? That's 108, 108. The answer's 108. 9 times 12 is 108. So what's 6 times 12? Can you say what it is? That's 72, 72. The answer's 72. 6 times 12 is 72. Rewind! 12 times 12 is 144. 11 times 12 is 132. Wahoo! 10 times 12 is 120. 9 times 12 is 108. 8 times 12 is 96. Picking up our sticks. 7 times 12 is 84. 6 times 12 is 72. Do the rooster shuffle. Cock-a-doodle-doo. 5 times 12 is 60. 4 times 12 is 48. Chirpy do the barn dance. Super duper mate. 3 times 12 is 36. 2 times 12 is 24. Everybody do it. Do the morning call. 1 times 12 is 12. 0 times 12 is 0. Now we're at the end. You're a 12 times table hero.
Well done everybody and welcome back. Thanks for joining in, and make sure you go back to the video if you needed to practice your 12 times table even further. So we need to make sure we're prepared. Let's have a look at what we're going to be looking at today. So we're going to complete a quiz, we're going to discuss certain vocabulary, we are going to look at the relationship between millimeters and centimeters, we are going to convert between the measures, and we are going to complete our independent task. And then at the end, you might want to go onto the quiz as a real challenge. So we're going to hopefully be able to solve many different measure problems, but in this particular week, we are just going to be focusing on converting. Let's look at our vocabulary. Length, meters, centimeters, millimeters, convert, inverse, unit of measure. Well done, everybody. Now, one of the links that you have received this week will be for your quiz. This is your time to see how many of the quiz questions you can answer. Pause the video, answer the quiz questions. Welcome back. Hopefully you got all of the questions correct. Doesn't matter if you didn't, you can always go back and answer the questions again. Now let's start with our very first activity. We are going to be matching each side. At this stage, you just want to be pausing the video, giving yourself enough answers to drag lines from the one side to the other side and see which of the measurements would suit each of the items listed the best. Welcome back, everybody. Let's see how close you got to your correct answers. What would the weight be? 1.5 kilograms. Length of a pencil? You got it, 20 centimeters. What about the capacity of a washing up liquid bottle? How much would go in there? Fantastic, 430 milliliters. The distance from London to Paris, did you get this one? 460 kilometers. The mass of a bar of chocolate, I think you all probably got this one correct, 400 grams. Capacity of a bath. And the very last one, the length of an ant. And this is really where our rulers and meter sticks come in as well. So here we have a meter stick. How long is the meter stick? 1 meter. How many centimeters do I find in a meter? You're correct, 100. And what would I find on a ruler? Look on the side of your ruler. One side would be in centimeters, the other side is normally in millimeters. So for every centimeter, I get 10 millimeters. And 30 centimeters would go into my meter stick roughly 3 times. 100 centimeters, 30 centimeters, and I can compare using my ruler or my meter stick. Now this diagram is going to be very important in your learning today, so make a note of these measures. For every kilometer, I get 1,000 meters. For every 1 meter, I get 100 centimeters. And for every 1 tiny centimeter, there's my tiny centimeter, 1 centimeter, I get 10 millimeters. So there's going to be 30 centimeters in here or 300 millimeters on the other side. Let's see how the converting goes. Now this diagram breaks it down. We're going to start with our centimeters and we're going to start with our millimeters. So for every 1 centimeter, I get 10 millimeters. This one, 3 centimeters times the 10 is 30. 21 divided by the 10 is 2.1. Let's have a look what they mean by that. So where I have 21 millimeters, that would become how many centimeters? So let's have a look. So this is what my number looks like at the moment. I am dividing, so it's going to become smaller. It's going to become smaller by 1 space. So if I take my 21, I can move my digits so it falls into the correct place. So what would the answer be? It would be 2.5. 1. I've divided my number by 10. I've divided the number by 10, like they've showed in my diagram here. So I've gone from millimeters to centimeters. I've divided by 10. Let's have a look at the examples they've given. 9 centimeters would be how many millimeters? And 32 millimeters would be how many centimeters? Pause the video at this stage so that you have a chance to work it out. Welcome back everybody. Let's have a quick look what happens. So centimeters to millimeters, I have to multiply it by 10. 9 times 10 is 90. Here I started with the number looking like this. I'm dividing this time by 10. So I have to have my space on this side, and then my 2 that was originally there, I'm going to go into my tenths, and my 30 is going to go to my ones, and my answer is going to become 3.2. Let's see if we are correct. Fantastic, well done everybody. Now let's have a closer look at what my ruler is showing. This is the bit that we were talking about. So if I zoom into that first section, I get 0 to 1. And every single little one represents 1 millimeter. This one is 10 millimeters. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I get to my 10 millimeters. So if I had to write it as a fraction, I would say that that is 1/10, and that would then be 0.1, which we were talking about before. Okay, at this stage, you can pause the video as well. Let's have a look at one together. So I'm asking you here to take it from centimeters to millimeters. So I have 4. What would I have to do to get from centimeters to millimeters? It's going to become bigger by 10. I have to move it 1 space. And then this side, I have to go from millimeters to centimeters. So I have to make it smaller, and it needs to be divided by 10. So it's going to be moving by 1 space to make sure the digits become 1 space smaller in value. Well done. Is this how close you got? Did you remember to pause the video? Try and compare your answers and see how close you got to the final answer. And try and write some challenging ones for yourself. Can you convert any number from centimeters to millimeters? And then can you convert a number again from millimeters back to centimeters? So what does this actually mean? Here's my ruler, which I was showing you earlier, and we have 0 to 1. Now this little space here, 0 to 1, is 10 millimeters. And every single one of these represents 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, if I in particular look at this space here, so I had 0, 1, but I just want to know how long this little bit is here. Now look at how they're trying to trick me. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it doesn't go to a whole number again. It's in between the 6 and the 7. So that one is 1 centimeter. That is another centimeter. 3 centimeters, 3.5. So if I had to write 3.5 centimeter, what would that look like as a millimeter? So 3.5 centimeters, have a go. Well done. Half shows the 0.5 that we were just talking about, 3.5 millimeters. We're going to have a few tasks today. So the first one is you need to put this in order. So can you start with the smallest one and then go to the largest one? But remember, I can't order units of measure if they are not the same. So here I have 6 centimeters, 40 centimeters. Ooh, they're trying to trick me again. So 150 I need to divide by 10 would be, you got it, 15. So I have 6, 40, 15. Now I can order them because they're all the same unit of measure. Make sure when you get to these ones, you do exactly the same. Are you going to take them to centimeters? Or which one in particular will you be using? So which one is the very smallest one? Which one is the largest one? So they gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look at all 9, write them all in the same unit of measure, and then work out which one is the smallest. And when you get to this one, try and see if you can work out what this number would be in centimeter, and if I had to write it in centimeters and millimeters. So 3 centimeters with 2 millimeters gives me 3.2 centimeters, and it gives me 32 millimeters. So at this stage, pause the video, try and work out as many of these as possible. Put those in the correct order on your whiteboard or your piece of paper. Welcome back, everyone. How close did you get to the correct answers? So now I can see this is my smallest length and this is going to be the longest one. And on this side, I can see where the pink answers are, is where they've worked it out. The last two, they didn't do. You can work those ones out for yourself. And who is up for a challenge today? So we are going to be looking at 2 regular shapes. This is called a square. One side of the square is 14 millimeters. What do we know about a square? That's correct. All the sides would be the same length. Here, I have a perimeter. And they gave me one of the sides again. It's 1.2 centimeters. So if I have one side, I know if it's a regular, they all have to be the same. Now, which one would have the greatest perimeter? So have a think about how you're going to work out what is perimeter. You got it, the distance around the outside of the shape. So 14, another 14, another 14, another 14. And here I have 1.2. You can convert that to millimeters. If you wanted to, 12, 12, 12, 12, and 12 again. And then work out which one of these 2 shapes would have the longest distance around the outside edge. Now this quiz can be taken either after the challenge or you can practice this on a different day. Now we've looked at units of measures, we looked at how to convert from centimeters to meters. If you click on the link that was sent through the email, you'll be able to see this quiz. See how close you can get to the correct answer. This is one example. We have to guess, estimate, what the reasonable for the shape. So which is the most reasonable for this particular apple. Would this apple weigh 70 grams? Would this apple weigh 7 kilograms? Or would this apple weigh 700 grams? Have a think. 7 kilograms might be a little bit too much. We also said about the bar of chocolate. Can any one of you remember what we guessed the bar of chocolate would weigh? You're correct, 400 grams. So what is the apple closest? Is it closer to this one or is it closer to that one? If you have an apple at home, even better. Put the apple on the scale and try and work out. But remember, it's an estimate, so it's just a guess. You don't have to have it as accurate as what that particular, all apples will weigh different. Well done everybody, you have worked super hard today. I can't wait to see what you have completed today. Please do share photographs or completed sheets with us, the Year 4 team. We are always looking forward to seeing what work you would have produced at home. Keep up with the home learning and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.